Hi. So it's Friday, and I want to talk about the Me Too movement that has happened all week. And I'm a little excited because I finally think I know what I want to say. And I didn't know before. When I started seeing the Me Too movement, I was all kinds of things. I was listening, and then different roles showed up, like as a speaker, like, what do I have to say? And then at one point I actually tried to make a video, and then I watched the video and didn't like it. It was almost like I was trying to just do the motions of saying this, and I wasn't sure what I felt about this. And throughout the week, then I went through a phase where I was like, my job is to listen, like listen to these amazing women saying Me Too and reading their stories, and then also going through my own inner stuff from my past that I didn't like and owning it and how I want to be better, and even apologizing in the past to people for things that I just don't want to be anymore and I'm not proud of. And even last night I tried to make a video and looked at it and I was like, I don't know that this is it either. And I then read an article by a man named Mike Morell, and it says, "To all of my brothers in light of Me Too." And it rang so true to what I'm learning individually about myself because of the relationship that I'm in right now. And I'm in a relationship with a wonderful woman and a powerful woman who wrote 2 books, who is just knows who she is and who she wants to be. And it has caused me to really have to grow up in ways that I didn't know that I needed to have. And it's funny because what the article talked about was almost putting words to this need to grow up. And what I'm learning individually, I didn't realize was what this Me Too movement is also feeling like the start of. And it's amazing because, first of all, the women that are writing the Me Too stories, you are stepping up and you are doing something courageous. First of all, for yourselves individually, to take this story or the multiple stories of at all kinds of levels of pain and take it, and something that you've held on to inside of your body, and some people since their childhood, right? And you're taking it and you're putting it out there. And women are being a space of love for each other, and many men are being a space of love too. It's almost like the world is allowing itself to be safe to release this. And what's so ironic about this is women are stepping up, and they're calling men to step up. They're actually doing what we should be doing first, but we're not. So the women are like, all right, well, I'm going to step up. Boom, this happened to me. This is not okay. Here's my new boundary. Here is what I want in my life. Here is everything. And what you're doing in so many aspects is creating a new level of consciousness. But as far as men are concerned, you are telling boys to become men. And there's going to be a split. There's going to be some men that are so excited to step into the new bar of honesty, transparency, being a space of love for, and being what the world needs us to become. And there's going to be some boys that will stay boys, but they now are going to be running away and have to go through their own demons and stuff until they're ready to actually become men. Because because that's what I've learned in this relationship. You know, I have to start off by saying, I'm born into a world where my mom was much more, in my opinion, the parent that was there for me all the time. I'm born and I see this woman who's there for me, and she loves me, and she's there for everything I need. And that's when I'm 1 year old, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way till she died, right? And I never, ever, ever got a breakaway from that, because it went from mom into fans, and then you just start dating people that are there for you the way your mom is, right? And women are so unbelievably loving and giving. And when my conditioning is, okay, you're here for me, great. At one point, that just becomes a total expectation, right? And you just go into this next relationship like, I need to vent my feelings. I need to have you be here as a source for me to talk through my stuff, or I need to have you here to deal with my crap. I need to have you, like, you're just like expected to be this full-time person. And this is a key problem that can go from anywhere from someone just being a needy person, a not there person, there is to all the way to a Harvey Weinstein or a Bill Cosby. And there is a paradigm that needs to shift, and that's this belief that women are just have a full-time job to be here for us. And what the article that Mike Morell talks about is how we need to be here for ourselves. We need to do this inner work. This is our time for inner work. And what is so crazy to me is the inner work that I did for a year with my fiance Christy. I have never actually seen another man do it. I'm sure there's many men that have done this work and are in their body and are stepping forward. But this just feels like this unique discovery for me, and to have Mike Morell put into words what I'm realizing about myself is so good, and I'm so here to support. I'm so here to support what he said, and even more importantly, I'm so here as a place of actual listening from my heart and support for all the people who have written me to in one way or another. Now, I at first was saying in earlier videos, I'm here as a support, and that I hear you. And I don't hear you until I have the revelation to shift myself and have an actual transformation. And now I hear you. Now I actually hear you. I hear you. I have been in deep reflection every single day for the last 6 days, and hearing you in all kinds of different levels. Hearing you in ways that I want to be better, hearing you in ways where I just want to make sure you feel seen, but now I hear you. And I want to talk about the shift that I had that has happened through all of my relationships, but this relationship I'm in is the big one, because Christy has called me into being a man without directly saying it. That's what's amazing about her, is that she creates this bar that my boy can't handle, but my man can. My man is here to take care of the needs that I think I need from her. So at the beginning of the relationship, I thought what I wanted in a woman is someone who could basically meet the egoic needs that I've had set in place for the last 40 years, right? So I want someone who okay, immediately in doing that, I want someone who I'm just filling wounds from past relationships that I think that is what I need. And then I create this bar that isn't about what I want to become. So instead of saying what I want in a woman, there's so much more growth in I want to become the greatest me. And I want to do the work with someone who wants that same thing for me and for herself however she wants it. But I noticed in Christy an independence, a level of knowing. And I realized that in getting in a relationship with her, I would have to become something incredible, because honestly, when we walked into this relationship, we both had this incredible independence. And at one point I'm here and at one point she's here, and my boy can't get what it wants. But in the past, fans have done that. In the past, my mom fed that. And so to give an example, at the beginning of the relationship, there'd be many times where I would say, we need to work through this problem. And then she would say, why do you need me to hear you talk about all the crap you need to talk about? And my belief, truly, my unconscious belief is, we need to work through this. We need to. This is our problem. And there were so many times where I felt pain, and my unconscious belief is, this is our issue, right? And she would run away. And I would immediately think, I'm being dismissed. Why would I do that? And eventually we started doing some deep-rooted therapy. And I started doing these things where I was always open to what I needed to learn. But man, to do the work to get there was so painful, because it required the shedding of this needy guy that I didn't know was needy. And in the past, I would look for someone who would date or fill the neediness. And now she will not fill that needy boy that needs a mom. And I'm so thankful for that. And I'm proud of myself for not running, not moving away, not getting, oh, she doesn't fill my egoic needs. There was a voice in me, a very quiet voice that said, stay in this. Stay with this, because there was a truth below all of this chaos that said, this still is good. Stay in it. And so we would have another moment where we would get in an argument, and I would want to reach in, and then she would go away. She'd go into her own room, because in the argument I would want to reach in. And I remember one time being in the relationship, and we had an argument, and I wanted to fix, and I would look at her and try to fix it and need her to be there to talk about it. And she went away, and I got in my car, and I was so upset, and I was thinking to myself, I can't believe that I have an open heart and she's closing her heart off to me. And I sat there and thought to myself, I'm aiming towards her, so I'm the one with the open heart, and she's aiming away, so she's got the closed heart. And then I had this revelation in the car. It's like, you're not a safe space, dude. You're a boy reaching for your mother, not a man being there. It's not her job. As Mike Morrell said, women are not to be this, I'm not going to say it right, I don't remember what I said, a canvas for our, unloading, you'll have to read the article, and I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read it several times today. I'm so excited about it. But this is, and so so in the car I realized I'm not a safe space, and I actually have a closed heart looking open. Because I'm aiming at her and I'm in pain trying to work through it with her, I think that I have an open heart, but I have a closed heart appearing open. Because if I need her or any person to be something for me and I'm in pain without it, then I am a boy. If you have to become something for me to change or for me to feel good again, then I'm still in my boy. And my call thanks to women stepping up in the Me Too movement, is to men to consider a new paradigm where we don't look to women to fill all our voids. And we don't expect that. we don't expect that. We need to become men. And I'm saying this so passionately because I am just now taking the training wheels off. I am so new at this because I have 39 years before of that hole constantly being able to be filled by me going on stage, by fans. It was very interesting. I'd go on stage and I'd perform, and then I'd go home and I'd get love and I'd be offered stuff, and I'd have all these different people give me their attention, and then I'd go home and there would be a real person there who actually has depth and love, and it didn't fill all my egoic needs. And until we see that, that is a form of narcissism without me even knowing it. And once we see it, we can change it. And what really excites me is the knowing that I think isn't celebrated enough and isn't looked at enough, that a behavior has nothing to do with what we are. And I believe, and I'm going to just own for me, because I understand there's certain situations that we can't change and stuff, but for me and many, many, many of us, a behavior is not who we are, and we can change it. And the second we see the behavior, we might have to do some of the inner work to move it from an intellectual understanding to an embodied understanding. But my job is to get to a place where I don't need, where I can be a space of love and safety. And when we do that, when we start to embody that through patience, through massive patience, through being a space for ourselves, through going away for a while, going into the woods and sitting with yourself and noticing in the, you know, in the forest, like how much pain comes up and how much we immediately want to go on our phone or get some type of approval or attention from anybody, and sit with it and cry it out and just fucking feel this pain and feel this stuff, and then watch as the pain starts to subside and you start to learn that we have been a giant addiction. We've been an addiction. And we've been addicted to getting love through sex, through attention, through narcissism, through look at me, through empathy, through everything. And I'm so brand new at this, and I'm owning that I'm not all the way there yet. And I'm owning that this video could be a little all over the place, because I'm just right now wanting to spew my thoughts out and hope that at one point maybe it'll trigger in you what it's triggering in me. And just start off by saying, women who are saying me too, I hear you. I'm in as much service as I can be to assist in the changing of what masculine energy means. And all I can say is know that I'm doing the very best I can, and it's going to get better as time goes on, because I am in full commitment, because this had brought up something in me all week. And now it's finally starting to piece together. And it took me 6 days to even have this understanding that I have now. And it's still going to take time. It's still going to take my patience with myself. But I am so excited, and I'm on the side that I'll never go back, because once I identify that behavior, I see it. So every time with my incredible fiance Christy that I find myself being needy, I'm not going to follow through with it and try to get her to be something for me that she doesn't, that I could be there for myself. And this will create a full human being and a full person that can bring to the relationship joy and not need. And so it's so funny, because this whole year in this relationship, Christy and I are not fighting anymore, and we will at times, but and it's also caused me to finally be this safety for her to put her guard down, because she hasn't felt safe in the past from so many boys looking for their moms through her. And so now I find myself starting the practice, and the less that I need from her and give what I need from her to myself, the more she surrenders her heart into me, and I feel an extra amount of love to match the love that I have. So that's what the Me Too movement is reminding me of for myself. And I just wanted to share this experience with myself because it might be able to put into words a possible start of a new conversation of what it means to be a man. Because most of us have been boys dressed in men's bodies. And I want to thank women for stepping up and getting us to be men, because you're saying you will not settle for anything less. And that's what I got today, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of new videos talking about the revelations and